Hi guys, it's Suisse Panda. I am a Japanese who has lived in Geneva, Switzerland for 3 years. This is a video introduced by a Japanese living in Geneva that explains the procedure for saving living expenses, which we will surely get the refund of €90 in 3 months without any hassle. 5% of daily food and miscellaneous goods purchased in France will be refunded. Of course, it is legally. In addition to Geneva, it is also useful for those who shop in France on weekends, such as Lausanne and Basel. You can also use it for travelers who leave for other countries after shopping in France, so please try it. Swiss food and living expenses are very expensive, aren't they? I think 100 out of 100 people will agree. I've been in Tokyo and New York, but I think Switzerland is by far the number one. For example, McDonald's in Geneva starts at 16 Swiss francs for the set. It will be over 1900 yen in Japanese yen. If you have 16 Swiss francs, you can eat one meal for your family at a cheap restaurant in Tokyo. Everyone living in Geneva, Lausanne, etc. saves on food by self-catering and goes shopping for food in France, where prices are cheap. I understand this situation. I am also one of them. But please wait a moment and consider it. If you just shop in France, you're losing money. If tax exemption is possible on the grounds of travelers who should be returning, TVA will be refunded. If you don't do it, you lose €360 every year. Suisse Panda, please wait a moment, just ask. I have surely heard of the tax exemption. However, it is very difficult to have the documents written. Because it is very troublesome, and we cannot ask the clerk to prepare the tax exemption documents at the supermarket line. I think that's right. Carrefour and Leclerc have very long lines at the cash register, and I can't ask for tax exemption because the people behind me are scared. I didn't ask the clerk either. Everyone hasn't asked. This video is an introduction to an excellent application that automatically creates documents if you prepare only a receipt. Just download this app and complete the procedure, and in my case, I am exempt from a tax of €30 a month for the amount of shopping in France. However, there are some conditions for tax exemption receipts, so please check this video. This channel will provide useful tips about life in Switzerland and information that makes you laugh. If you like it, it is pleasure for me to please subscribe to our channel. Let me start with the conclusion. Anyone can apply for tax exemption if they use this app to complete the procedures that meet the conditions. Its name is Savon Free Tax. This is because the app will automatically create the documents for the tax exemption as a traveler, which would have been naturally refunded if you had created the documents. All you need to have is a passport to prove that you live in Switzerland, a credit card number to put your refund money in, a receipt. That is all. From now on, I will explain the procedure flow in the order of how to download this Savon Free Tax, preparations in advance, points at the time of shopping, and how to apply for tax exemption. I will explain in order from the beginning, so please have your passport, credit card, documents with your address, and smartphone at hand. If you are watching this on your smartphone, I recommend switching to a PC to see it. If you follow this procedure, the troublesome documents will be automated. With some exceptions, about 6% of the cost of shopping in France will be refunded. First, let's prepare for Savon Free Tax. Please search and download Savon Free Tax on the Apple Store or Google Play. After downloading, this screen will appear. Please register your email address and password. Savon Free Tax is a tool to have the French consumption tax refunded as a traveler when leaving France to a foreign country such as Switzerland. For this reason, you need to show that you have shopped in France, and that you live outside France. Savon Free Tax adopts a method of registering your passport and place of residence in advance and entering the information registered in advance when creating documents. Therefore, you need to register your name, passport, and place of residence in advance. It's nice to be able to register the English language as well. After registration, a start screen like this will appear. Now you are ready. Next, I will move on to the points when shopping. If you shop in France, you will be exempt from sales tax on most supermarkets and department stores. Carrefour, Leclerc, Grandfra, Lidl. All are tax exempt. The only documents required for tax exemption are the receipts you receive at the store. However, please note the following 3 points. You may not be able to be exempt from tax. First one. The total amount of duty-free purchases must be at least €101 per day. You don't have to buy it at one store. If you collect all receipts of the same date for €101 or more, it's okay. Second. Some stores cannot be used. For meat, it is a Swiss law to limit the carry-on of 1 kilogram of meat to Switzerland, and any amount exceeding this will be subject to full tax payment. If this happens, tax exemption will no longer be possible. Also, gasoline is not tax exempt. Therefore, please note that the receipts of Burger King, McDonald's, and gas stations cannot be used for tax exemption. Also, if you buy a lot of meat at the supermarket, you may not be able to use the tax exemption. The weakness of saving free tax is that the number of people at the time of departure is set to 1. For example, in normal shopping, if a family of 4 crosses the border, you can buy up to 4 kilograms of meat, but since saving free tax does not have that function, 1 kilogram will be the limit. For this reason, some ingenuity is required when shopping at supermarkets. Our family does shopping twice a week. Large-scale shopping for tax exemption once a week. Once again, I'm going to buy meat and something I forgot to buy that I absolutely must buy that week. The receipt I bought the meat is not used for tax exemption. I often hear that the total amount of shopping did not exceed 101 euros after all. However, it would be sad if you made a new purchase to meet the tax exemption conditions and the purchase was wasted. For example, in my family, I prepare in advance a product list of things that I always use and things that are low in stock such as toilet paper, salad oil, and detergent. If the total amount does not go to 101 euros, it may be a good idea to buy these items. The self-checkout counter is convenient when you want to buy only one item. Waiting time is less than regular cashiers, and you can get a receipt. The last point to note is that an error will be displayed on the app unless the receipt has a tax amount displayed. Please be sure to get a receipt with the VAT label. At Carrefour, Grand'Fort, Lidl, you can receive a receipt with a VAT label without saying anything. But at Leclerc, please be careful. If you don't tell the clerk, you're likely to get a receipt without VAT. Please be sure to check when you receive the receipt. If you received a receipt without VAT at Leclerc, you could say avec TVA or tax, and the clerk will retype the receipt on the spot with the touch of a button. It only takes a few seconds, so it doesn't bother people waiting in line. If you receive a receipt without VAT display at Leclerc, you could go to the receptionist and request the clerk to be reissued receipt with VAT, and you will be able to get a new receipt with VAT. Did you finally collect receipts totaling more than 101 euros per day? Next, we will move on to the tax exemption procedure. Let's move on to tax exemption procedures. Tap Add My Purchases in the center of the Savon Free Tax screen. There is a choice between in-store purchases and online purchases, and you choose to purchase at the store. For online, you need to select a destination in France, and have it delivered, and I think it is difficult for people living outside France to apply. Please check customs regulation. After that, please tap Got It. After tapping, the screen change to activate the camera. Also, you can take a picture of the receipt. Take a picture so that the whole picture is reflected. Here are some things to keep in mind when shooting receipts. The characters should not be too small. It is necessary to take a picture so that the date part can be read well. After taking a photo, if there is an additional receipt to be taken on the same date, tap Add Another Receipt using the same operation method to take an additional receipt. You can check whether the information on the captured receipt was read correctly after registering the receipt. If you tap Submit after shooting, the app will automatically start judging whether the receipt shot meets the conditions. You can add receipts with the same date later. If you want to add it, you can register the receipt again by tapping Add My Purchase from the menu screen. The receipt information immediately after the shooting is yellow. If the tax exemption conditions are met, the icon will turn green, and if not, it will turn red. It takes a lot of time. It takes a few minutes for short ones and several hours for long receipts, so please be patient. If the icon turns red, you should have a clear picture of the date information and tax amount, or you have taken the store name firmly. I feel the review time is short if the store logo is taken, please check. A surprisingly large number of cases is buying too much meat. If you exceed 1 kilogram a day, the tax exemption amount will decrease, and you will not be able to use your receipt. Also, note that once you tap Get My Refund and create a combined receipt for one day, you will not be able to add it to be precise, you will discard all the information once. You need to register, so you should tap Get My Refund after you finish shopping. If you no longer want to shop in France that day, please tap Get My Refund. The great thing about this app is that it creates all the information you need for tax exemption from your registered personal information and receipts. Tax exemption is available for more than €101 per day. If not, please note that the total daily purchase must exceed €101. When the barcode screen appears like this, the document created is complete. Congratulations! You can use barcodes as screenshots. Once you have a barcode, please look for Pablo at the border when you leave France. It is such a machine. It supports a total of 9 languages. Please select your language and choose to have had a passport. Then, if you apply the prepared barcode to the reading part below, the procedure is completed. The app says that it will be refunded within 21 days. You should think that it actually takes about 20 days. Pablo on the border has a fixed usable time as a measure against COVID. For example, the border of France-Ferney-Voltaire is used from 7:30 to 1700 hours, so you should be careful when using it. Also, I appreciate for taking note that the period for which you can apply is fixed, and you may not be able to apply for tax exemption more than 1 month after purchase. I'm often asked if we need to apply at Pablo on the day of shopping. The conclusion is not needed. You don't have to apply on the day of shopping, just as you would accept a traveler's tax exemption documents at the airport after arrival. Congratulations! The life of receiving a tax exemption refund using Savon Free Tax is just around the corner. Anyone can apply for tax exemption if they use this app to complete the procedures that meet the conditions. It has been 3 years since I came to Switzerland. Everyone in Switzerland has a really good personality and enjoys life in Switzerland. That is why I would like to proactively send out information that will make everyone in Switzerland smile and give back. I would like to thank everyone for living in Switzerland. I like to drink Swiss wine. The main reason is that it is delicious. It is also the biggest reason that I respect the people of Switzerland. Finally, a summary of the procedure. First of all, please download Saving Tax Free. Please note that you should have your passport and credit card handy. Second, please get a receipt for shopping. Please note that 1. The daily purchase amount exceeds €101, 2. VAT is stated, and 3. The store name and date are clearly stated. Next is the receipt shooting and in-app review. It will take some time. Once all the receipts have been registered, please tap Get My Refund to create a barcode. After creating a barcode, please hold the barcode over the border Pablo. You need to go to the border when Pablo is available. I would like to continue to upload information that will be useful and laughing to everyone living in Switzerland. I would be grateful if you could channel it. Thank you for watching by the end. I'm pressuring you to enjoy a fun duty-free life in Switzerland.